My grandma saved my life. Ever since I was 8 years old, I have had this feeling of having encounters with the dead. When we lived in our old house, I used to have an imaginary friend that my parents said I always spoke to. Though I cannot remember her name, I do remember one instance. I had been sitting in my parents' room watching a movie, and I offered my imaginary friend to sit on the beanbag chair that I had brought into the room. I have always been told that I was a very OCD, tidy child, and I remember making sure that the beanbag chair was completely flat and smooth, as everything had to be back then. I remember turning towards the movie after I had offered for her to sit down, and hearing a sound. Looking at the beanbag chair, there was an indent as though someone was sitting down. My parents stated that I often spoke to people who weren't there and thought it to just be my imagination. We moved into our new house when I was 10, and although I feel safe in the home, I have always had this feeling of being watched. My friends often comment on how I speak to people who are not there. They too feel it is just my imagination. My mother has finally started to believe my stories because 2 years ago, my grandmother, her mother, got very sick. The two of us had always been close, and I spent many summers with her, so when she got sick, it was very hard on me. She had been a strong smoker all of her life, and she always had this certain smell to her, different than cigarette smoke. I have many friends who smoke as well. Anyway, my grandmother ended up not making it, and she passed on 2 days before my 17th birthday. I didn't even get a chance to say I love you one last time, or to hear her voice say it back. My parents gave me a gold angel necklace the day of her wake, which was on my birthday. My grandfather did not want her actual funeral to be on my birthday. My mother had said that my grandmother was now my angel, because she loved me more than anything, and that the necklace would always symbolize her love for me. I wore that necklace every day, exactly 1 year to her death. I was speeding in my car, trust me, I know it was stupid, to meet my at the time boyfriend for a date, which I was late for. The road I had driven hundreds of times before, and I knew all the turns to slow down on. At one point I had not been paying attention, and I lost control of my car. I went into a ditch which was surrounded by trees. I was so far down that no one could see me. When I had lost control, I had started to scream as my car started to spin around, and I just remember stopping, and feeling this warmth as though someone was holding me. When I had finally stopped, I was clinging to the angel necklace that I had gotten on the day of her wake. I do not remember ever reaching up to grab the necklace. When everything became silent, I heard a whisper of "I love you," and I swore I could smell her distinct smell, one that I will never be able to forget.